In a major move that is poised to reshape the way immigration benefits are assessed in the United States, USCIS has released a new update clarifying how officers are to exercise discretion in cases where such judgment is required. The update, which is already in effect, emphasizes that immigration benefits remain a privilege, not a right, and reinforces the critical role of vetting applicants for anti-American and anti-Semitic activity. This guidance signals a more stringent approach to discretionary analysis and expands the types of cases where such careful consideration will be applied. Under the new rules, USCIS officers are instructed to treat evidence of anti-American sentiment or support for terrorist or extremist ideologies as a highly negative factor when evaluating applications for immigration benefits. This includes actions, statements, affiliations, and even content shared on social media platforms, ensuring that applicants are assessed in a holistic but rigorous manner. The update specifically mentions that officers must take into account any prior requests for parole, involvement in organizations considered anti-American, and any engagement in activities linked to terrorism or extremist ideologies. Applicants who have expressed, endorsed, or supported anti-American or anti-Semitic views will see these factors weigh heavily against their cases. The guidance also clarifies how discretionary authority is applied in more complex benefit requests, including applications for adjustment of status, EB-5 investor petitions, and other cases where approval is not automatic and relies on an officer's judgment. By providing these detailed instructions, USCIS aims to ensure that those seeking to live and work in the United States are not only compliant with immigration laws but also aligned with the country's core values and principles. This update reflects an increased focus on social media vetting, with officers instructed to examine online activity as part of the discretionary analysis. Applicants' public posts, associations, and shared content may be reviewed, and any indication of anti-American or anti-Semitic sentiment will be considered a serious negative factor. The policy makes it clear that such behavior will likely result in the denial of discretionary benefits. By expanding the types of cases subject to this level of scrutiny, USCIS is ensuring that the vetting process is more comprehensive than ever, preventing individuals whose views or activities are contrary to U.S. values from obtaining benefits. This approach represents a shift toward prioritizing national security and public trust in the immigration system. For those applying for adjustment of status or other benefits requiring officer discretion, this means that the evaluation process will be more detailed and thorough. USCIS officers are now required to weigh not just the legal compliance of applicants but also their ideological alignment and public behavior. Any history of misrepresentation, fraud, or criminal misuse in previous applications will also be examined as part of this discretionary analysis. The update underscores that officers have the responsibility to deny benefits in cases where an applicant's behavior, past or present, contradicts the principles of the United States, especially in instances involving anti-American sentiment, extremist activity, or support for terrorism. Experts in immigration law have noted that this guidance formalizes practices that were already in place to some degree but adds a level of clarity and enforcement that is unprecedented. By explicitly instructing officers to consider ideological factors, USCIS is ensuring a more consistent and transparent discretionary process. The inclusion of social media vetting reflects growing recognition of the influence of online behavior and the importance of assessing applicants' alignment with American values. While some may view this approach as strict, it is designed to protect the integrity of the immigration system and ensure that benefits are granted to those who demonstrate respect for the nation's laws and principles. The update also addresses EB-5 investor petitions, which have historically been subject to discretionary review in cases involving threats to the national interest, fraud, or misrepresentation. USCIS officers are now given additional guidance on how to apply discretion when such concerns arise, ensuring that any potential risks are carefully considered before approving investment-based benefits. This is part of a broader effort to safeguard the country from misuse of the immigration system, whether through fraudulent investment schemes or individuals seeking to exploit discretionary benefits while promoting ideologies contrary to American values. Another key aspect of the update is its emphasis on compliance with all applicable laws and regulations at the time of the application. Officers are instructed to evaluate not only the applicant's current behavior but also the context in which prior requests were made, considering any patterns of behavior that may indicate a disregard for U.S. laws or alignment with anti-American or anti-Semitic ideologies. This comprehensive approach ensures that discretionary decisions are informed by a full understanding of the applicant's history, associations, and public expressions. It is a holistic analysis that goes beyond mere documentation and seeks to evaluate character, behavior, and alignment with national principles. Applicants should be aware that this new guidance means increased scrutiny and a higher standard for demonstrating eligibility for discretionary benefits. It is no longer sufficient to meet the technical requirements of a benefit request. Applicants must also demonstrate that they embody the values and principles of the United States. Any indication of extremist or anti-American sentiment, whether expressed publicly or privately, will weigh heavily in the officer's analysis. This places a premium on transparency, honesty, and a clear demonstration of respect for the nation's laws and ideals. In addition to highlighting anti-American and anti-Semitic activity as negative factors, the guidance reiterates the relevance of compliance with immigration laws. Any violations or patterns of non-compliance will be considered alongside ideological factors, ensuring a comprehensive evaluation. Officers are encouraged to document their discretionary reasoning clearly, creating a record that supports the decision-making process and enhances accountability. The update is intended to standardize discretionary reviews, reduce inconsistencies, and ensure that benefits are granted only to applicants who meet both legal and ideological standards. The USCIS update reflects a broader trend of heightened vetting and security measures within the U.S. immigration system. From adjustments of status to investor petitions and parole requests, applicants are now subject to more thorough evaluations than ever before. By combining assessments of legal compliance, social media activity, ideological alignment, and past behavior, USCIS is creating a more rigorous process that seeks to protect the integrity of the immigration system. This approach is expected to have a lasting impact on discretionary decisions, reinforcing the principle that U.S. immigration benefits are a privilege granted to individuals who demonstrate alignment with the country's values and respect for its laws. For the public and applicants, this update serves as a clear signal that USCIS is prioritizing the protection of national interests and ensuring that discretionary benefits are awarded responsibly. Those seeking immigration benefits should be mindful of their public behavior, online presence, and ideological expressions, understanding that officers now have explicit guidance to weigh these factors heavily in their analysis. This is a moment of increased accountability for applicants and underscores the importance of aligning with American values in all aspects of life, both online and offline. As this policy takes effect immediately and applies to pending and new applications, applicants and legal representatives must be aware of the heightened scrutiny and prepare accordingly. While the update reinforces existing principles of discretion, it adds significant clarity and emphasizes the consequences of anti-American or anti-Semitic activity. USCIS has made it clear that the integrity of the immigration system and the protection of national interests are paramount, and officers are empowered to act decisively in cases where discretionary review is required. In conclusion, this update represents a significant shift in U.S. immigration policy, emphasizing stricter vetting, comprehensive discretionary review, and clear consideration of ideological factors. It sends a strong message that anti-American and anti-Semitic behavior will be treated as highly negative in discretionary decisions, and that social media and other public activities are part of the evaluation. Applicants for adjustment of status, EB-5 petitions, and other discretionary benefits should understand the heightened expectations and prepare accordingly. The update reflects a commitment to ensuring that U.S. immigration benefits are granted to individuals who respect the nation, comply with its laws, and embody its principles. This is a major development in immigration policy, and its effects will be closely watched in the months and years ahead as USCIS implements these stricter rules and evaluates applicants under this new framework.